Hey everyone! So I'm gonna have my final thoughts on Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. Yes, Philosopher's Stone, I do have the British editions because nostalgia reasons. I grew up in South Africa, so all the British terminology is just wonderful for me. So I guess I'll just start with my spoiler free thoughts for Harry Potter if you haven't read it, which is hopefully no one. If you haven't read Harry Potter, I definitely recommend it. It is a wonderful, cozy read, especially the first half of the series. There are 7 books, and the first half of the series are wonderful children's novels that have a really cozy feel and a wonderful little mystery to go along with it, and really excellent world building. So, highly recommend. It has a great world. It has really wonderful characters, great friendships. Friendship is a huge theme in these books. So if you haven't read Harry Potter, I definitely recommend it for a lot of different people. Most people, I feel like, should read Harry Potter. Another plus in the later books of the series is her understanding of psychology and trauma. So if that's interesting to you, I highly recommend it. So starting with the spoiler thoughts, here are 2 clips of me while I was reading the book, and then I'll kind of wrap up my final thoughts. Alright, I am off on my Harry Potter reread journey. I'm gonna go ahead and post, sorry. I'm gonna go ahead and post little snippets like I was doing with my other reads. So I'm about a quarter of the way through, and I'm only in chapter, what is this chapter? Chapter 5. I'm only in chapter 5, so it's interesting. So I just wanted to, I'm actually taking annotations this time, which I've never done before. I'm not really a write in the book kind of person, but with this, special editions, I thought it would be special to, put my thoughts in it, and then maybe, my kids could read it. That would be really cool. So I just love the beginning. It's interesting that J.K. Rowling actually treats her readings quite adult. Like, she doesn't hand everything to the reader, which I was really surprised by. I know in the next books she has a lot of recap, so I kind of just expected everything to be handed to them, but it's not. I like the suspense of magic is not mentioned for a really long time. It's really hard to hear about the neglect of the Dursleys and the abuse of the Dursleys. But it does make it more satisfying when he leaves that situation. So I think it kind of balances out that way, if that makes sense. Yeah. I'm trying to think if there's other notes in here. This is a very rambly video. I should have prepped for it, but you know me. Just kind of ran to a camera. I love the cliffhanger when the chapter ends right as Hagrid's going into the room. That's so great, that cliffhanger. I think one of the YouTubers that I watched, he said that his dad stopped reading at that cliffhanger, which is so funny to me. And I just love Hagrid's loyalty, but everyone says that. But the big thing that it takes away from this is I wish that I could remember my thoughts and feelings the first time I read it, which was college, so 10 to 15 years ago. I guess college was around 10, 13 to 9 years ago. So I think it was 12 years ago that I read this for the first time. I kind of wish that I remembered what I thought of it the first time. And these key moments, I just really don't remember. I know that I listened to the audiobook. I didn't read it physical the first time. And I know I knew some story. I hadn't watched the movies. I'd seen a couple of scenes for the movies when I first read them. But yeah, I don't really remember how I felt, which I kind of sad about. But yeah, thank you for coming on this journey. There will be a couple more parts of this, and then I'll do a non-spoiler section. But who hasn't read this? So here's my non-spoiler section. Read this book. No, I'll do a non-spoiler section, and then that'll go to the beginning. Alright, I will see you next time. So I'm reading Quidditch, and I forgot how much Quidditch is annoying and the rules don't make any sense. So that's where I'm at in Philosopher's Stone. Just wanted to tell you that. So here are my final thoughts in Harry Potter. It was definitely a wonderful reread. The pacing was good. It is quite a fast-paced book. I read it in a week, which is very fast for me. I will say something about the pacing though. It feels kind of like the plot doesn't get started for a while. I actually did the calculation. You don't go to Hogwarts until the 36% mark. So in this book, goodness, I don't even know when that is. That's like page 100 something. Yeah, it's like 115. Yeah, 119 is when you get to Hogwarts. So if that's a turnoff for you, it does happen in some of these books where there's a lot of content before you even get to Hogwarts. So that can be kind of an iffy thing. Sometimes the pacing is not the best. The book that stands out to me that's the worst about this is Order of the Phoenix. I feel like is the one where the pacing's not off. But I'm gonna read that, so I'll tell you in that review if I've changed my mind. I remember it being very slow to me, but maybe it'll be different. I'm reading a lot faster than I was 2 years ago. So yeah, I really enjoyed this reread. It was wonderful. I really enjoyed like the Christmassy vibes of the middle of the book. I really enjoyed the mystery aspect in the way of I knew who it was obviously, so it's really fun to like look at little hints throughout the book of who did it. So it's really fun to like watch those, and like I actually marked them. This was the first time I read this book and like marked it up, which was really fun. It's just cool to think of me reading this like 5 years from now and like seeing all my thoughts, which I'm normally not that kind of person, but I thought it would be really cool to do this time, and I really did enjoy it. It slows down the reading a little bit, but it was a lot of fun. So it's cute, and it's definitely still a children's novel. This one is not like an adult novel. I would say the second half of the series is definitely more for older or young adults / adults, but this one is quite childish, and it's very, very fun. I love it so much. Childish in a delightful way, not childish in a bad way, just like yeah, like homey and cozy kind of childish. So yeah, I think that there's not a lot of negatives for this book. I think I'm probably not going to give it like 5 stars or anything. There's definitely some plot things that annoyed me. And like I said, the pacing's not perfect, but it is an amazing book, and there's a reason why it's so popular. So I definitely would give it quite high stars, probably 4, which is really good. So yeah, I'm going to continue reading the Harry Potter series. I'm going to do hopefully one a month, so I should be done by, what is that, July? But we'll see. Obviously, it's not the only thing I'm reading right now, so I'm also trying to finish Wheel of Time, which is kind of priority right now. But yeah, I hope you'll watch these with me, and I really enjoyed Philosopher's Stone, and I'll see you next time. Bye!